Welcome back to my channel. As Halloween approaches, I wanted to do a couple of videos of doll series or individual dolls that I've collected over the years that captured the spooky season. So there'll be 2 additional videos from this video today. And my first creepy doll series or spooky doll series are the Little Apple dolls. These debuted around the same time as Living Dead dolls. Well, a little after Living Dead dolls had took off, and in the early 2000s it was a great time to be a horror collector. You had Little Apple dolls, you had Crypt Kitties, and you had Bleeding Edge goths, just to name a few dolls that debuted around the same time, thanks to Living Dead dolls. So Little Apple dolls was created by a British artist named Yufuma Uri. They were released in 2004 via Underground Toys. The dolls, or the characters, they were children who have passed into the in-between, a realm that is neither dead nor living. So they couldn't exactly call them dead dolls because Living Dead dolls already had a corner on the market of that. So cleverly, they are in the in-between. They're like in purgatory, if you will. The dolls had about 4 series of them. There was about 4 series. They had convention exclusives. They also had retail exclusives, which I have 2 of them on camera. I'll talk about in a moment. And they retailed for $25, and they were 13 to 14 inches tall. They lasted until 2008, when Underground Toys, who distribute and manufactured the dolls, dropped them. The dolls continued under a different distributor. The artist herself, along with her sister, started doing handmaids of the dolls. So they had different fashions, and they were released under a new company they created called Screaming Matriarch in 2011, after they settled whatever dispute they had with Underground Toys, which prevented them from making dolls for several years. Here are some examples of the dolls under Screaming Matriarch. They had a bit of controversy in that they made these handmaids and they didn't fulfill orders. They had a loss. They lost their mom around 2019, and so they ended up just completely ghosting fans, according to research I've done on the dolls since their end in 2008. Okay, so I'm going to go over the basic mythology of Little Apple dolls and the individual dolls you see here. Okay, so the first doll here, she was part of Series 1. Her name is Circe or Circe. This is her packaging right here. It's this doll right here. Now, she, along with the other 2, according to the basic mythology, they guided mainly children that were wrongfully killed, or they suffered tragic consequences, and they sort of guide them in the in-between place. Sin, the one in this, or Sini, the one in the center, I don't own her. She's the hero or the main character of the series. She herself was a little girl who died unexpectedly from a disease caused by the main villain. This is a picture of him or her, Praesus. Praesus was a convention exclusive. He or she wasn't part of the main run of the series. She ends up in an afterlife where children suffered a similar fate, a wrongful deaths, an apple in her pocket that has come to life thanks to the afterlife, which helps her get free, and she goes in search of lost souls. Okay, Circe is one of those children that she found. Now she has like more of a mythological origin. She is the child of the sun, literally the sun, and a water nymph. And she was killed when the people of her village set her on fire and threw her into the water. Very gruesome. And that's a common theme with these little apple dolls, that they had very dark fates, very similar to Living Dead dolls. These dolls were not made for children, they were made for adult collectors. And what I really appreciate is the detail in terms of the backstory and their clothes. Even though they have the same expression on their faces, which is very haunting, the clothes and the stories differentiate the different characters. So each apple doll, as you see in the back of the box, comes with a book, and it comes with a little apple accessory with pins. Okay, I have her book. I'll show you. Now, I still have my apple in the package because I don't have a place for it, but there's the apple, and those are the pins that you stick in the apple. She's supposed to hold them in her hands, so she actually has a cupped hand right here. If I could just show you right here. Okay, so here's her cupped hand. She's supposed to hold the apple in her hand. Now, the apples don't really stay well, so when I eventually display them properly with their apples, I'm going to probably use like either a little bit of putty, like poster putty, or clear bands like I've done with the earlier series Living Dead dolls with their accessories. So up close, she has this amazing dress right here. Again, very, very mythological right here, very otherworldly. That's her design. Okay. And very simplistic with the clothes. Also simplistic are the points of articulation. They basically just move their arms up and down, legs up and down. Their heads move a little bit side to side. They can't look up, they can't look down. Again, very, very limited. The hair is nice, but it's not the best rooted doll. I question if it is even rooted, because I did have an issue with one of them, and I'll show you that doll in a moment. Okay, and this is Cersei's book. And that's another thing about these dolls that's amazing, is again the detail the artist went in to creating backstories for each of the dolls with these amazing books. Just amazing. Okay, so that is Cersei. Okay, the next two dolls are from series 3 of Little Apple dolls. This one is called Vates, and she was born on an island that was cursed, where children did not reach adulthood. She was killed by the spirits of the other children that buried her alive. That's why you see all these handprints on her dress and on her legs. Okay, and one of the very few boys of the series, Atrum. Okay, he's still in box. I actually got him last year as a Christmas gift from my husband. I haven't, again, I don't just unbox my dolls if I don't have a place for them. And a lot of the dolls you see, with the exception of him and Sergei and Minari and Iuna, they were sealed in box, and I did have them temporarily displayed somewhere, and they had to be moved. But he is one of the only dolls of the series that is about this height, which is about 8 inches. So he's very small. Not sure why. And if you notice in the packaging, he has a mask. In addition to the apple and the pins, his book is behind him in his packaging. Okay, and the back of the rest of series 3. Okay, you see Vase right here. Definitely want to get the rest of these dolls. There's not that many of them. There's about a total of 24 including the exclusives from the both convention and retail exclusives. So here they tell you that it comes with the apple and the pins, the book, the mask. And A-Trim was a trickster that he loved the in-between time of All Hallows Eve and November the 1st. And like I said, he was the only doll that's not 14 inches like the girls. Okay. Now, Vates, again, she comes with this cool mask right here. Yeah, that's her mask. Again, I'm keeping it in the package. I would love to take it out, but we're going to keep it right there. Okay, and then there's her book, and it's her apple. And again, she has the same basic points of articulation, but I just want to give you a close-up of her outfit. And the hair is pretty much the same. All the dolls have pretty much the same type of hair. Okay, and she has the cupped hand where you put their apple with the pins. Now, the thing about these dolls, they also have the same problem as Living Dead dolls, and that is the staining, which I'll show you with the next one. Her name is Iuna, and she is a doll, an exclusive to Diamond Distributors or Diamond Comic Distribution Association, which you found her in the comic book stores of Forbidden Planet. I bought her on the secondary market, so I paid a little bit more than what she initially cost. And as I said, there's that staining problem, which is a shame that, like, with these doll companies, like, why would they make dolls with bodies that pick up the staining of the clothes? Okay, she comes with flowers in her hair, little plastic flowers, which I appreciate. Like, again, same hair, cute dress, same style of shoes. Her story, she was the goddess of beginnings, and she was killed by the main hero of the story, Sin, for abusing her powers. And I just hate that. Look at that staining right here. But still, a really cool doll. She was actually one of the characters I wanted the most, and I got her for a really good price. Unfortunately, she came with her apple, she came with her book, but she was missing her pins. Not the end of the world, but like I said, I still love her. I still love all these dolls. I know I sound like I'm being critical, but I'm not. Just wanted to let you know, if you are interested in buying these dolls secondhand, just know the staining that you're going to encounter. It's been an issue for about 20 years with these dolls. Okay, and last but certainly not least, she was bought along with Cirque in person, in retail. I got her at a comic book store for $25. Now, she is a Hot Topic exclusive, but I found her in a comic book store, so I didn't find her in Hot Topic. Actually, a lot of these dolls, I did not find them in a lot of places that Living Dead dolls sold their dolls, which I felt contributed to a lot of people not knowing about these dolls, because these are really great dolls. Now, the thing about Minari, that's her name, she had the misfortune of having her hair completely fall out. Here's a picture of what it looked like. Now, this particular character has been known to have those issues. So if you do buy her in the secondary market, there is a 50% chance you'll have the same issues I have with her hair. So I bought this amazing wig from a woman who makes doll wigs for various different types of dolls. Unfortunately, she retired, and I bought this wig on a recommendation from one of the doll pages, and I bought it just before she was closing her shop. So that's That's her wig. And it looks great, and it looks just like the other dolls. You know, it sits right there. You know, in terms of diminishing her value, again, I don't buy these dolls to resell. But her story is the saddest of all of them. She is a tentacle monster, which I wish they did something to show you that. But it's in her book. And she built a tower of cards with her tentacles, and it collapsed on her and it killed her. And the sad thing about her story is that she built this tower of cards for a dad that abandoned her. I think her mom died during birth, but her dad, I guess, rejected that she was a tentacle creature. And it was very sad, very heartbreaking. But again, with these dolls, they're just amazing. You know, even with the little quibbles I have in terms of the staining and the unfortunate mess with their hair, I just think they captured the spirit of Halloween. I feel like they are in great company with Living Dead dolls. And I really wish they lasted a lot longer. On the upside, it'll be easier to complete the collection, which I do aim to do. Because, like I said, it's such a small amount of dolls that exist. And like I said, if you do seek them out, you know, do your homework, do your research, shop around. Just to let you know, they do have that staining problem, and they will have that hair problem. Just to let you know, Minari is notorious for that. So I highly suggest, if you do buy her, if she's in boxed, you know, just proceed with caution. And if you buy it from like an eBay seller, Mercari, please don't blame it on the seller. That is the manufacturer, not the seller. Just keep that in mind. So here's a picture, just a little snapshot of the Screaming Matriarch dolls that were produced after the initial run of these dolls ended. And I wish I could buy them, or at least one of them, but on the secondary market, they're non-existent. And if you do see them, every now and then, they're more money than the original run dolls. So I hope you enjoyed my brief overview of these magnificent dolls, little Apple dolls. And stay tuned. Like I said, there's 2 more videos I'll be doing for Halloween. And until next time, happy hunting.